All right, in this last lesson in this section, we're going to look at ratio analysis, kind of understanding financial statements from a different point of view. In this case, we're going to be looking at the fixed asset turnover ratio. So let's get started with understanding it and then doing a problem at the very end. So again, ratio analysis, the importance of ratio analysis is that it gives us a way to get a quick look at a different aspect of the financial statements than the dollar amounts shown on them. By doing ratio analysis, one can compare the current results with the past. We can even use this information to compare other companies. So we like this because it gives us it almost sometimes gives us a percentage or a number that we can actually compare to another company that might be really big or really small and still kind of get some data on how we're doing with the industry. So these are super important when we're trying to see how we're doing versus everybody else. Now, what we're going to be looking at is the fixed asset turnover ratio. So the fixed asset typically represents the most expensive item a company will purchase. And the question relates to those purchases on whether or not they have a positive financial effect to the company's overall financial status. So we're looking at, when we buy these fixed assets or these long-lived assets, are they actually helping us grow as a company when it comes to in terms of sales, let's say, or revenue? Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at here. Now, to calculate the fixed asset turnover ratio, we are going to take the net revenues and divide it by our average net fixed asset. Net after depreciation, average, we're going to take the beginning and ending and divide it by 2. That's going to give us our fixed asset turnover. Now, how do we interpret the results? Well, the ratio tells us how much revenue on average do our fixed asset generate for us over a period of time. The way that I like to think about it is for every $1 that we invest in an asset, how much is it returning to us in revenues or net sales? So we want the higher the number here, which would give us better results. So the higher the number, the better. We also need to compare our results to the industry. So once we've done that, we also need to compare what is the industry doing to see if we are kind of in line with everybody else, because we always can't compare us with someone else. For instance, we can't compare Facebook to, let's say, a grocery store, because a grocery store chain is going to have more assets because they have to have physical locations and shelving to display everything, whereas Facebook just has a website, right? Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have other assets. I mean, they have headquarters and buildings, but they don't have as much as, say, a retail grocery store. So we can't compare those two results, but Facebook can definitely compare it to Twitter, and the grocery store chain can compare to another grocery chain in another area or another part of the country. So that's what we need to do when we're comparing the results. So let's look at an example here. We've got our friends here at Best Buy, and we've got some information. So in order to calculate our average fixed asset turnover ratio, we need to take a look at its net revenues and our average net fixed asset. So if I look here, our net revenues here is $42,879,000,000. I just kind of covered it right now. So we're going to take 42,879, and we're going to divide it by our average net fixed asset. So our average net fixed asset would be these two numbers here, the beginning and the end. So that's after depreciation. You can see depreciation, after accumulated depreciation, you can see that just right above it. So we're going to add those two numbers, 2510 plus 2421, and divide it by 2. When we do that, you're going to get 24655. And then when we calculate that out, we're going to get a fixed asset turnover ratio of 1739. Okay, so 1739. So what is that telling us? That is telling us that on average, for every $1 Best Buy spends on fixed asset, they can generate $17.39 in sales. Is that good? I don't know. Got to look at a competitor. Is it bad? I don't know. Got to look at a competitor. But we know that at least they're generating $17.39 in revenue for every $1 they spend. Now, this is not to say that, hey, we want more revenue. Let's go ahead and spend more on fixed asset to generate more revenue. Because if we did that, there is a plateau where as much as we want to spend, sales is going to stay flat. So it's important to know that we shouldn't always think that this is the way that we generate revenue, because it's not. But this is a great way of seeing how efficient we are with the usage of our fixed asset. Could we maybe reduce our fixed asset, keep our revenues where it is, which would then increase our fixed asset turnover ratio? So again, don't rely too much on this, on going, oh, we need to spend more money to bring in more revenues. That's not the case all the time, although sometimes it is. That's not the case all the time. This just tells us, okay, about every $1 we spend, we're bringing about $17.39. So there is going to be a plateau. So we don't want to spend, $1 million more, but if we spend another 25,000 more, does that mean that we're going to get 25 times $17.39, are we going to get that much more in revenue? And maybe that's the case. So we need to spend a little bit more. So that is a look at the fixed asset turnover ratio, a very easy ratio to calculate. All we need to do is take our net sales and divide it by the average net fixed asset numbers for the year. So hope you enjoyed this section, and we'll see you in the new section later on. All right, see you later. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure you press the like button below. And if you're looking for worksheets that go along with all of these lessons, head over to my website at patrickleemsa.com or clicking the link in the far right. And I've got your next lesson right over here. So just click that link and it'll take you to that video. So until then, we'll see you in the next lesson.